Happy fall, y'all. I've got 5 cozy, comforting, yummy air fryer recipes coming your way. Got some savory and a little sweet, and I think you're gonna like them. My name is Cathy and I empower air fryer owners to use their air fryer. Drop a comment below. Let me know which of these you're gonna make next. Or what are you currently loving in your air fryer? Ready to see them? Let's go. Did you know you can make casseroles in the air fryer? Today we're gonna make some poor man's lasagna. So first, we're gonna get that pasta going. And while that's cooking, I'm gonna start cooking up some ground turkey. And did you know that you can cook ground beef or ground turkey in your air fryer? I've got my Casserole dual glaze air fryer today. I'm gonna save myself some hassle, put some foil here at the bottom, and then throw the grate right on top. Then I'm gonna just put a pound of this ground turkey right in here and kind of crumble it up or like squish it up. And then according to page 36 of my cookbook, we wanna cook this at 380 for about 7 or 8 minutes. Pop that in. I do wanna kind of break that meat apart. So I don't forget, I'm gonna just run it for 4 minutes first. Okay, there we are halfway through cooking. I want to mix it up because I don't want these huge chunks. And I'm going to add in my seasoning. Now it calls for a teaspoon of Italian seasoning, but I am all out of Italian seasoning. So I'm throwing in just a mix of parsley, oregano, basil, and a little garlic powder and some onion powder. Well, that means my pasta's ready. Whatever Italian type seasonings you have on hand. And oops, I'm remembering these holes. Things kind of fall down in there. So I'm gonna spread this out along the edges, and I just lifted that up, grab those chunks of meat. I just don't want them down there cooking in the grease. And we will just continue cooking. I'm gonna crank this up to 400 and give it about 5 more minutes. Pasta's done and we're gonna drain it. Now, a couple things. You're gonna add some softened cream cheese to this hot pasta, but I forgot to, but I have a solution here. We just want to do it while it's still nice and hot. I'm just going to cube up this cream cheese, which you might want to do either way, even if you have it kind of room temperature. And I could probably soften it a little in the microwave, but we're just going to do it this way. Throw that cream. Oh, there's the beef, but let's get this cream cheese soaking in the hot pasta. And while that gets nice and warm, let's check on our meat here. There we go. That's nice and done. I'm going to just line my cutting board with paper towels. And you could just scoop that meat out, or if you have the basket style of air fryer, you can just lift it out and dump it right onto the paper towel. And I'll just chop it up a little bit more here. And either way, all that grease, well, it dropped right down there to the bottom, which means I could just pick up that gross foil and drop it right into my trash can. And I'll just use a paper towel to grab any grease that I spilled out of that paper towel. And we are ready to start layering. Okay, you can see my cream cheese is mostly melted and I've got it all blended in. We have some cottage cheese we want to add to this pasta mixture. So I'm gonna just jump into a little bit larger bowl since my pot wasn't huge. And we'll just mix that all together. And now we're gonna start layering. Then I'm gonna put some of the pasta in each container. Then I'm gonna add some of the ground turkey or ground beef mixture that I'm layering on the ground beef or ground turkey. And then put some sauce over the top. Then we will repeat the layering. Add the rest of the meat and the rest of the sauce. Just spread it around. And we will top it with some cheese. And of course, it's always cheaper to buy a brick of cheese and shred it up yourself. Place that cheese right over the top. Now this one is ready to cook. Before I cook up this lasagna, I'm gonna just preheat my air fryer at 400 just for about 3 minutes. Now that this air fryer is nice and warm, I'm gonna carefully put that lasagna in there, close it up, and just let it sit. Then open it up. Everything's nice and melty, and now it's ready to cook. This recipe has been on my website forever, and so I just have oven directions to follow. If it's not frozen, you bake it at 350 for about 30 minutes, but we know that the air fryer is so much faster than that. So I'm gonna knock that down to 325, or you could run it at 330 if you don't have that 5-minute increment, and we'll do it, let's start with 15 minutes. Okay, we are about halfway through. I just wanted to check on this because I have not made this one in the air fryer before, and it sure looks gorgeous on top. I'm just going to use my internal temp reader here, and it looks like we do need a little more cook time. So I'm just going to keep an eye on this just to make sure these last few minutes don't mean that my cheese burns, but I think we're gonna be okay. Now it's ready. Oh, I like it when it's bubbly like that. So I can hear the sizzle. The cheese is looking nice and brown. Look at that beauty. I just love that you can pull this off, and it only took 15 minutes in the oven. Did you know one serving of this costs less than a hamburger at McDonald's?
Really?
Yeah. Okay, tell me the stars.
10 out of 10. Or are we doing fries? 5 out of 5.
So good. You want the whole pan?
No, I want the whole pan. We need lasagna more often.
Another casserole. It's called the Cowboy Casserole / dinner, and I think you're gonna like it. You're gonna need 2 pounds of ground turkey or ground beef, half of a yellow onion, about a cup of frozen corn, 1.5 cups of salsa, a can of black beans that are rinsed and drained, and a cup of medium cheddar cheese or whatever kind of cheese you love. Then you can make your own homemade cornbread or be cheap and easy like me. These are like less than 50 cents a box. And I'm not sure if we're gonna need 1 or 2 for each half of the recipe, but I've got 2 boxes. This time I'm putting all 2 pounds of ground turkey in the air fryer. And I remember that Michelle gave me this tip about blocking these little holes with some foil. And chop up half of that onion. And I can put the onions right on top of the meat. And again, 380. Since I have more meat in there, I'm gonna go 6 minutes first. Oh, it's looking good. I just wanna stir this up, get those onions mixed in a little more. My foil's doing a pretty good job there. And I want to break up this meat a little bit more so it's not like a meatloaf. And then I'm just going to throw on some salt and pepper. And let's continue cooking that. Let's go about 5 more minutes. I'm going to hurry and make up this cornbread. Just need a 1/3 cup of milk and 1 egg. Mix. And then I'm going to let that rest. That one's done. Get it out of the air fryer and onto a paper towel, and then just break it up a little bit more. Got my big bowl again. I'm gonna dump the meat right in the bowl. I'm gonna throw in that corn, the salsa, those beans, and just mix all of that goodness together. And because I've got cornbread involved, I do just wanna lightly grease my pan. And I'm gonna freeze half of this mixture in a freezer bag. Yes, I already wrote on it. But what I'm gonna do is just alternate my scoops of meat mixture into my freezer bag and into my dish, just so I can split it up fairly evenly. So if we're just doing half the recipe, you just need to grate about 4 ounces of cheese. That is gonna come to, well, about 1/2 cup. Look how much that made there on the cornbread. So you could just do 1 box of this corn muffin mix, and then you're just gonna scoop your batter right on top of this cheese mixture. Just gently spread it around. Now this recipe comes from Mel's Kitchen Cafe. It's her cowboy dinner recipe. By the way, she does have a homemade cornbread recipe on here. The oven instructions say bake it at 40 to 45 minutes. That's for the full pan at 375 degrees. But in the air fryer, we are gonna just crank that down. Now, with cornbread, because that can kind of burn easily, especially when we have that heating element so close, I'm gonna pull this down to about 330, and instead of like 45 minutes, we're gonna do 15. Okay, we are about 9-10 minutes in. That's looking nice and golden. Let's just see if we can tell. It's about 155 inside. Just wanna see if that's cooked through. No, it needs a little more time. So I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. I'm not gonna cover this with foil, but if you wanted to at this point, you could cover it with foil to keep it from browning much more. But I'm guessing we just need a few more minutes. Also, another option would be to you could lower your temp and then maybe cook it longer if you were worried about that top burning. Oh boy, I turned that back up to 330 and I did not check on it anymore, but oh, look at that. That looks really, really good. That looks good. We are good to go. This just reminds me of like chili with cornbread on top. So good. What do you think? How many do you give it?
3 out of 5.
A 3. I'm gonna give it a 4. Peach cobbler in the air fryer, so much faster, but still so delicious. Okay, all you need is a box of yellow cake mix and then whatever ingredients are needed for the cake. In this case, it's asking for eggs, water, and oil, and I always use applesauce instead of oil. And then you'll want some cans of peaches and pears. And then, of course, I love to use 8-ounce ramekins. It's the best way to do cake in the air fryer. So first off, I just want to drain these peaches and pears. This is going to make 8 servings with this entire cake mix. So you could either half it if you want, or just make a whole lot of little peach cobblers. And if you're not a fan of pears, that's totally okay. You can just do all peaches. This would probably even work with like apple pie filling. That would probably work too. And then we're gonna just make a cake as usual. Dump in the cake mix, add a cup of water, your eggs, and like I said, I do applesauce the exact same ratio instead of vegetable oil. And when that's all mixed up, it's time to put it in the ramekins. Now we for sure want to spray our ramekins with oil. Then you're going to put about a 1/4 cup of the cake batter in the bottom of each ramekin. Then add in a full layer of peaches and pears, so it looks a little something like that. Then we'll add in a little more batter, just enough to cover up the peaches and pears. And I'm kind of aiming to just be at the top of this little rivet that you can see. That's just because cakes do rise, right? And those are ready to go. Now I'm going to place these in the air fryer. If you don't have this tool, you could use like hot pads to lift it out, but it's a little tricky. Another option would be to put a foil sling, like 2 thin foil slings under these, and that'll make it a lot easier to pull these hot ramekins out of the air fryer. And yes, we're doing cake, so there's always the chance that the top is going to burn before the middle is done cooking. I'm lazy today, so I'm going to just pop this in, keep an eye on it. We're gonna drop that temperature down. I'm gonna do it at 320 for 20 minutes with that shake reminder, so I can check on it halfway through cooking. Okay, this one's been going about 9 minutes, and those tops are getting about as brown as I want them. And if we look at this free cooking temp guide that I have for you, go to internaltemperaturechartt.com, we can see that cakes and cupcakes need to be cooked right to about 205 degrees. I'm pretty sure these are nowhere near 205. Let's take a look. Well, we're only halfway through, so I better get some foil out. Okay, so if you're lazy like me and you're doing foil now when it's hot, I just place that little square on top. Got my trusty little washcloth, creates a nice little barrier, and I'm just gonna squeeze that because you really don't want that foil to lift over the lip there. And then I'm gonna use that cloth to put those back in there. Sometimes being lazy in the kitchen works wonderfully, other times not so much. Oh, and if you do the foil first, when that batter is nice and raw, just make sure you spray a little oil on there so the foil doesn't stick to the cake batter as that cake rises. All right, now we'll go back in and let that finish up. There's the cakes, and yeah, one foil went flying. These have actually been cooling for a few minutes, so let's just check that temp. 190. Okay, I'm gonna call these good. Now if you want, you could dust on a little powdered sugar and even top it with some whipped cream or ice cream. This is still warm, but has cooled. Ready to, you wanna put some on? Whoa, beautiful.
Ooh, wow.
Okay, the taste test, you don't eat just whipped cream, okay?
I'll try not to. Yeah, I need some more whipped cream on there.
100%, 5 all the way for me.
Super easy 5. That is really good.
Maybe like 3.5, I don't know.
3.5 for you. Acorn squash is one of my favorite varieties of squash, and I think you're gonna love this little dinner we put together for you. For this recipe, you'll obviously need an acorn squash, some peppers, onions, Italian sausage, or you can use ground beef and ground turkey, and some marinara sauce and a little salt and pepper. So first, cut your squash in half and core it out, then smother it with some butter. Then pop in the air fryer at 370 for 25 minutes. Now we're gonna cook up a pound of Italian sausage. And while that's browning, prep up your veggies. I'm just chopping my yellow and red pepper and my sweet onion into nice big chunks. You can do whatever size you want. Now that those are prepped, that Italian sausage is just about done. So go ahead and remove it from the pan. And I'm gonna just drain mine on some paper towels to get rid of some of that grease. Now, since my air fryer is still busy cooking up that squash, I'm gonna just use my pan to saute the veggies at about a medium-high heat. Now that we've got about 5 minutes left on the squash, I'm gonna give it the fork test. Now mine is pretty much done, but I wanna cook it up just a little bit more. So to keep it from burning, I'm gonna drop the temperature down to 320 degrees Fahrenheit for the last 5 minutes. At this point, the veggies are almost done, and once they are tender to your liking, add the meat right back in and then pour in however much marinara sauce you want. And then I'm just gonna let that simmer while we finish prepping up the squash. And look how beautiful that is. You could either enjoy the squash right inside its little outer layer shell thingy, or scoop it out with a fork and put it on a plate. Then all you have to do is get your meat and veggie sauce and top it right on top. Oh my goodness. And let's talk about the leftover sauce. What I suggest you do is put it in a freezer bag, label it, and then save that for another night. You could use it for like spaghetti or make this meal again. It's just gonna save you time and money so you don't have any wasted like half onions or half peppers, right? Now let's see what my oldest and my youngest daughters have to say about this one.
I think it's pretty good. What do you think?
I want different food.
You want different food? You don't like it? How many stars? 3?
And how about one last dessert for you? Check out these super easy pumpkin donuts. You just need a spice cake mix and pumpkin pie filling. But with the spice cake mix, it just has all that extra seasoning that we want. So yummy. And then just throw in the can of the pumpkin puree. And you know what? Since we have that pumpkin spice mix, I'm gonna throw a tablespoon in there too. And then just give that a stir up. You don't need beaters or a blender or anything, just you and your spoon. Yum yum. Now it's all combined. Look how easy this one is. Now you ready for a trick? To put this batter in the little donut pan, it's a little messy, tricky. But if you get a plastic bag, cut the corner off, get a cup, then put the little opening down at the bottom of the cup and then fold it over. Then you can just spoon however much batter you want to right inside the bag. And you just made your own little DIY piping bag. Now we've got the donut pan. I've sprayed that down and just rubbed the oil around it. And this is a little hole we just cut for ventilation. This was actually a pan of 6. I've used this in a couple other videos. I will link to those below. I have other delicious donut and pancake donut recipes. So now you're just gonna squirt that filling right into each little donut cavity. So much faster, so much easier, less messy. And there you go, ta-da! I'm just gonna smooth this out a smidgey with my fingers. It doesn't matter too much because this is actually the bottom of the donut. I'm just gonna pop these in the air fryer. See how nicely that fits. Drop this down to 330 and we're gonna start it at 6 minutes. All right, 6 minutes in. They're cute and puffy. Let's take a quick internal temp. So they're looking pretty good. Let's give them 2 more minutes and I'm just gonna drop that temp down a smidge. Alrighty, let's do a little toothpick test. These are looking good. I'm gonna let them rest for a second. I'm gonna finish up my glaze here. I'm just doing some melted butter and cream cheese. I add a little cream cheese because I just want to get that cream cheese flavor with the pumpkin. All right, now I'm gonna throw in a cup of powdered sugar and a teaspoon of vanilla and just whisk that up. Okay, we're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of hot water, and we can add more if we need to. Now, normally when I make this, I don't have the cream cheese in it, so it's usually beautiful and smooth, but we might have some cream cheese lumps. We'll see how it looks. Okay, now that these have cooled a little bit, just gonna carefully pop them over to a baking sheet. And look how cute those are. Now when this is cooled just a smidgey, pop them right there in the icing. Oh, yummy. If your icing's not quite thick enough, go ahead and add just a tiny bit, like a tablespoon more of hot water. They look pretty good. If you want some more cozy recipes in your life, check out this amazing soup. Yes, you make it in your air fryer. And then we make some yummy, delicious bread right here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.